Hi, I'm Jan Lindercoda from Angel Diva Music. We are here for the Taxi Rally. We're doing a class called Once More with Feeling, and we welcome you. The thing that I really want to get everyone to understand who's a performer is that you have three systems that you need to really be good at. You need to be good at the technical, you need to be good at the physical, and you need to be good at the emotional. And what I've done is to come up with processes for how you can make, you have to break it down. You have to be good with the physical, figure out what that is, be good with the emotional, figure out what that is, and good with the technical. And then when you get good at the separated ones, then you can put them all together. Kind of like when you were playing the left hand on the piano, the right hand on the piano, and then you were putting it together. So how do you do that? So what I want to know is I want to ask you guys a question. What do you like to see when you go to see a performer? What are the elements that really make it pop for you?
The connection that we make with
Speak real loud.
connection that we make with the artist.
Okay.
The message that he or she is giving out, and you connect with that, and you can identify with that.
All right. Do you agree with him?
That we are changed on the way out.
Okay, well, that's a lot to demand from a song, but I see where you're going with that. What were you going to say?
Authenticity, and that you're feeling something from them.
Authenticity, that you're feeling something. You know, you really can't give somebody something that you don't have to give. If you're an artist and you're feeling like you're not really coming across well with the audience, you have to start to ask yourself, what do you think is missing? You know, and what I usually find as a producer, that people don't really understand that when you're doing a performance, whether it's live or it's, you know, in the recording studio, you are acting. You know, if you wrote this song and you sat there and you had the most psychedelic experience when you were writing that song, it doesn't matter when you're performing the song. The job of the writer and the job of the performer are two completely different jobs. So how many writers do I have in here, singer-songwriters? Okay, did you ever feel when you did a performance and you sang the same song the 40th time, did you feel the same as when you sang it the first time?
Yes. No.
You do? You do. Well, what do you do to make that happen?
I go to my spirit world and muse.
And what's your spirit world like? Like, how do you get there?
Through my best friend who died in February.
Oh,
I can go there like that.
that's very powerful. I mean, that's probably an exception when you think about it. You know, because if you are completely overcome with some sort of feeling, even if it's been since February, when that despair sets in, you can go to that place. But generally speaking, once you write the song, you really need to find a way to keep it fresh every single time that you perform it. And the fact that you wrote it, believe me, that's not going to do it for you after a while. So you have to find systems that are going to make that happen for you. And so what I like to say is that your physical body, when you go on stage, that's where you notice the most nerves. Am I right? Is there anybody who doesn't feel that? I mean, even if you're an experienced performer and you've gone on over and over and over again, I don't know what it is and why that adrenaline starts to hit so hard and why we start to get so many nerves. It's probably because singing is the most intimate thing that you can do. I think it's more intimate than sex. I mean, sex, you usually have a partner. Not always. Just most of the time. Unless you're 80. You know. But you know what I'm saying. Singing, though, is something totally different. And you are going to be judged for what you're doing. You know, you're probably not going to say to your partner, well, how was I tonight? You know, probably not, well, maybe you will, I don't know. But the point I'm making is, if your body is feeling really, really nervous, you may want to have something that you can do with your body that will calm your body down. And does anybody have any rituals that they do? What do you do?
I use that nervousness as energy on stage. Like I use it to accentuate what I'm doing.
Maybe, would you be willing to sing in a few minutes? Okay. So we'll see, because I think that if you have a system, then you will know that you can move your body. The more you move your body, the less nervousness that you feel. So we're going to do a little bit of that. What were you
I was
going
just
to
going
say?
to say, like, stretching.
Stretching is good.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can do it once you get on the stage, you know. It's,
Well,
Are you talking on the stage?
I'm talking on the stage.
uh,
Like, what do you do to alleviate your nervousness? What do you do?
I try to take some deep breaths and count to 4 slowly.
Yeah, and one of the things you might do is put one of your faster songs at the front because you're so nervous. You can sink down into that a little bit and alleviate some of that nervousness. And then,
I close my eyes and I pretend I'm in my home practicing. And then I calm down and open up and look at the
Okay.
audience. Just kind of take it back to someplace less intimidating.
what were you going to say?
I like to find one person I can get to smile back at me. And then that seems to tell everybody it's going to be okay.
Well, you know, that brings up a very good point. The thing that makes performing a song so nerve-wracking, it's a monologue. It's a monologue. Like, and if there's anybody in here who understands that dialogue is the it's the receiving of the information and the expressing. You receive information and then you express information, right? So it's a give and take sort of situation. But when you're up there on stage, the people who are coming back at you are coming back in a silent way. But that doesn't mean that they're not feeding you energy. It's just that sometimes you don't feel that connection right away, and so you don't know where to go to feel like you're receiving that energy from somebody else. You know, from the person in the front row. You don't know who that's going to be. You know, you look for a friendly face, but sometimes there's lights in your eyes. You know, or sometimes I've produced people in the studio where I call the first hour shit. Because I don't think you get anything good on the first hour. I mean, you have that rare person who can go in and sing the first time. Like I've heard that Bonnie Raitt just is a one-take person, but she's on the road all the time. She's hot all the time. She just knows how to do it, and she goes in there and she captures it right away. But unless you're performing quite a bit, people can get really nervous. So you can look for that friendly face, right? But I think the most important thing to do is to really connect with yourself first.